Hello, welcome in. So, do y'all see my title? So, what in the HELL is going on here? What? You mean to tell me they are finally doing something about these Chicago companies that's ripping these truck drivers off? Y'all, I am your boy, Positive T, where I am a truck driver that's always out here trying to hustle, trying to make that money. I bring you trucking news and I share my life journey with you guys. So let's talk about what's in the news with these Chicago trucking companies. There's a news clip going on about the trucking companies that are ripping truck drivers off. You know about them. We hear about them all the time. Right, truckers? You know, SuperEgo, MN89, all those Russian companies up there in Chicago. Let's hear what they had to say in the news. Let's see here. Let's hear what they're saying in the news.
Trucking company is being named in a federal class action lawsuit that alleges drivers are underpaid and forced to push their limits behind the wheel. SuperEgo Holding LLC, based here in Elmhurst, is being sued by several drivers for breach of contract, civil conspiracy, and deceptive business practices. There are 12 named plaintiffs, but nearly 800 others have also joined the suit. The lawsuit, originally filed in 2022, alleges the company engaged in widespread, long-standing scheme to defraud semi-truck drivers and steal part of their compensation. Attorney Chris Wilmus, who represents the drivers, say they were promised 88% of the revenue from each load they hauled, but claims the company was skimming off the top. In some cases, he says it resulted in a negative balance on their paycheck.
They would actually end up owing SuperEgo for the work that they performed in a certain week, and they'd have to make up for it the following week. Certain drivers allege that SuperEgo, the motor carriers and dispatchers would allow them to reset their clocks so they could drive over the DOT limits, and I think there are some drivers that felt the pressure to do that just so they wouldn't end up with a negative paycheck.
SuperEgo has also been accused of acting as a so-called chameleon carrier, a trucking company that shuts down and reopens under different names. In the last half hour, we heard from the U.S. Department of Transportation. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration says it is, quote, taking aggressive action to root out chameleon carriers for the threat they pose to both American families on our roads and the integrity of our trucking industry. Our hardworking and law-abiding carriers deserve a system that is fair, transparent, and free from bad actors who cut corners and cause chaos, unquote. We made several attempts to reach SuperEgo for comment, but have not yet received a formal statement. An employee I spoke with over the phone claimed we had the wrong number, and an email to the company's founder has gone unanswered. Reporting live in Elmhurst, Casey Cronus, Fox Chicago.
The same thing. That is why Blue Chew Gold was created. Science.
All right, excuse that in the part of the video. So there you have it. They are going after them companies, and y'all, let's keep it real. SuperEgo is not the only company that has done it. I've worked with SuperEgo. I've also worked for a company called MN89, which I will make a video about. They are about far, they're worse than SuperEgo. They stole my money every week and made up excuses as to why all the deductions were being made. Then they all want to charge a truck deposit fee, whether you lease or company driver, and they'll tell you they're going to give it back to you when you leave the company. Usually it's like $2,500. It could be $5,000 when they take out $250 a week, maybe $150 a week to add up until you get to that $2,500 or that $3,000 or that $5,000, whatever the case may be, or whatever they charge. And then when you leave the company, you don't ever get that money back. And that's money that you actually work for. That's that come out of your check, the money that you work for, that you got for doing the miles, or if you are a lease and you getting broker loads, all that come out of that money, your money. There ain't no money that they gave you. That's your money that they take from you, and they never give it back. So yeah, so y'all, SuperEgo ain't the only one in Chicago. There's plenty of them in Chicago that has took money from drivers, and I hope that not only that they go after SuperEgo, but I want them to make sure that they put MN89 also on that list. As a matter of fact, if I can reach out to them, I probably will. I'm gonna try and see what I can do to make sure they get MN89 on that list. They need to be their top priority. MN89 is so bad that someone actually went in there to shoot them up, and the security had to stop the driver, and the security guard wound up getting shot instead of the people in the office who he was actually originally going for. So yeah, there you have it. I wanted to jump on here and make this video and touch on that. And it's I don't know, SuperEgo is not the worst, but what I will say, for those drivers who have trouble license that do need some source of income, and driving is their thing, I mean, it's very easy to get on with SuperEgo with a messed up driving record. Very easy. They take SAP drivers if you got failed drug tests. I'm not going to say you're going to make what you would make at any other company, because they do have a lot of deductions, but you will have an income coming in as long as you work. Yeah, they do. Some people do get in there and have negative paychecks, but that's because they don't work. But that would be a thing for those who do have trouble license, to get on with SuperEgo and make your money, make some money. But so yeah, that's it, y'all. I just wanted to get on here, like I said, and bring that to the light. And it's good that they are cracking down on those trucking companies in Chicago, what we call Serbia companies. They're not really from Russia per se. They're actually from Serbia. A lot of times when I was working with them, we would call dispatch, and dispatchers over in Serbia. So yeah. So that's it for now, y'all. Talk with y'all later. Peace.